we wanted to show you a deeper look at what all has gone on behind the scenes on the world of endplay, or the universe of endplay. And so, join me over here and we'll start taking a look at some of the characters and character creation process. Let's see here. So we can start with, as you can see here, endplay will feature the planet Earth in various states. And down here, you can begin looking at a few of our characters. We still have, this is an example of a texture material that hasn't been, it just has a few UV, meaning ultraviolet, mapping errors that we need to work out. But you can take a look at some of the face textures. Obviously she's designed to have hair. Here's a nice close-up look. You can see, you know, stubble on his mustache and eyebrows. And over here we have the male. It's actually a different version of the male outfit, which has he has pretty much the same legs but a different top, and just haven't applied the skin material for his arms. And so we go in here, let's take a look at this guy's face material. So here you can see we've got many different faces, and we can just go in and give him a different face as soon as it starts cooperating. So we'll just give him this full beard here. And there you go. We also now have have different ear sizes and nose sizes cut out to really give a custom look and feel. So while that's loading, let's. I want to go ahead and switch over to one of our beta builds of endplay, and then we'll get this loading over here. Sorry, I'm not used to having this window so small. Okay, so on this screen, you know, the animation is still rather rough, but you have essentially this character is walking around using our PlayPass artificial intelligence, and you can see down here we've got kind of a energy field set up that is helping keep these plants alive in space. You've got a lot of endplay. One of the unique things about our game is we try and base it off of actual existing things out there, and so this is what NASA has been working on, called it's our version anyways of the Trans Hab module, which is essentially a concept by NASA to have modular space station out in space. And so you can, that's why, I don't know if you can hear it, but he's talking to us. So over here, you've got a fan, and each module is represented by different colors. So anyways, we'll go back over here. And you can see some of our buildings laid out. We've tried to keep these really low poly so that we can both make use of height maps in tessellation, as well as have the game run fast and have a lot of detail in it. So you can really begin seeing some of the content. Over here it gets a little slower because we're getting to the warehouses and some of the things that have more complex shaders on them.
I can't believe they put you in charge of it, but you don't even know anything.
Take a look and Transub Module 1 while we come over here. And all these pieces, you can see they're broken out into single piece form. And number one, that makes it easy for us to see what exactly we have when we're browsing through our library. But also, I don't know if you've had a chance to check out at myplaypass.com or .org. I don't know if you've had a chance to check out at myplaypass.org our mod kit. And you can see our mod kit will basically have in the library each one of these segments so people can piece together their own world. And so here's essentially a tunnel. It's got some a reflective shader on there that's not quite calibrated correctly, some power lines, see-through glass. And over here is a regenerative chamber, or it could be a pod to grow aliens or whatever in the world you like. So you can really see we have a lot of rich content available. Stairs, you can really let your imagination run wild. Let me open up an example of when you land on a planet, what you might find. Actually, that's the wrong file. So over here, we've got I'll show some of the interactions, like an inventory window, things of that nature. Essentially, this is a little virtual shop bot that will move around and help you purchase different things. And then over here you've got there's the example of the tank that we were showing you. What we'll do is we'll walk over there. I'll walk over there in a minute and show you how we handle level navigation. So here's a good look at what a full-blown all the assets combined together would look like. They've got this really cool looking spaceship essentially, or it can be a space station or whatever you'd like. So we'll open up this one. And this particular land was actually originally modeled after, it tried to match as much as possible the Dead Sea, zoomed in on Google Maps, so essentially this will be, so you land on a foreign planet, and this planet is not as advanced. Make sure we're still recording here. And this planet is not as advanced as as Earth in endplay, or any of the or the moon base or the Mars base or anything like that. But so this culture either chooses, or by lack of resources or materials, has to live. Essentially, you can experience traveling through time and different technology stages, even though the entire game exists in the future, just by interplanetary travel. And so you can really see here we got a lot of really cool assets and trees, a bridge over here for a dock, a nice little cave, Stonehenge, um, lots of different, I believe this is peppermint here, and basil, and actual stuff to make ingredients. Um, Vines and stuff hanging off of things. There can be room for different religions and pagan worship, or whatever type of deities they might have. And these altars were originally designed to represent the Jewish faith and for Jewish sacrifices, but they can be modded to fit many different cultures, because they also have a Mayan type of look to them. And so, yeah, as you can see, that's just one world. Let's open this bad boy. Yeah, in this version of it, I still had a bug where if you ducked, your character got stuck in the ground. And so that was annoying, and that was why I was going so slow. So here we go. Well, you're, I don't know if you can hear it in the background, it's real quiet, but it says essentially you've activated the comm unit, and then once you put things in your inventory, so you can drag it out and put it back in, if you have the required amount needed, and down here would be the quest information. Your quest would be marked as complete, and in this case, you have to have a certain amount of these are supposed to represent power cells. We talked about programmer art. It obviously looks nothing like a power cell, but once you have enough power cells, 6 in this example, the hatch on the bottom of the floor will open up, and your character will fall through into surprise. So here we go, falling through. Oh no, what's down there? Oh good, I've got my spaceship. And so here she is. She automatically pops up in perfect riding position to the spaceship and flying around. And then we go to look at our cool travel maps. And in each one of these maps, we'll have a different space sector, and you'll be able to go to them. So we can exit out of that and get something else loading. So here's yet another, I believe, maybe, okay, yeah, they're all down over here. As you can see, this is an example of bad tiling. So over here you have essentially the progression of a society. So you saw the oldest or more primitive society in the previous zone or world, or whatever you want to call it, planet, and here you've got a little bit more advanced architecture. I've really tried to spend a lot of time on the various tools, so that there can be a lot of crafting and things in the game. So here you can actually start having a blacksmith, and try and keep the progression of research as close to what actually happened in our human timeline as possible, so you can kind of relive that. You got a balanced scale over here. bench, bed, some primitive weapons and shields, and we'll just kind of zoom around and take a look inside some of these things for fun. So yeah, that will I believe be all I have to show over here. I can pop up a few of these bases. And I can show very well on that monitor. Right there. You can see a few of the outfits. Some of these have a crazy amount of materials to them, so we'll go take a look at this one. Just lots of cool stuff. I mean, I can bore you by showing you all these things in raw form, or we can put them in a video game. I'm not sure if you can see out the window, but I even have a little bit of stardust floating. So down here is a different take. Essentially that would be you landing on a planet. Let's see if this one here now we actually have some different colored sectors. This would be like an alien language that I found on blendswap.com. Some different worlds. An antimatter engine travel map. And so let's see if and so this will show you another cool thing we have is the ability for the camera. You can see I'm not actually touching anything. Pretend like this is a person. Camera will actually transition and offer cinematic views from one screen to another. So we decided to use this little chess piece as a tile map marker, and essentially you're supposed to drop off the ship and land on this planet. So you could obviously tell that the planet's a little roughly conceived. So then you land on the planet and you've got buildings and stuff you can or walk into, and this is eventually right now endplay has a lot of 2D art, and while I still like the retro feel of it, I'd like to also offer a more complex navigation map like this 3D art, and still have a 2D aspect to the game, but I think that can get old after a while. If you can offer both 2D and 3D, I think that's the best experience. So yeah, you can see you're kind of walking around. You can see some of the other features we've highlighted in various demos, and kind of see how our PlayPass universe is expanding. So we'll quit that and go over to Unity. As soon as the spinning wheel goes away. Okay, so over here, you can see some of our role playing and card game uh, samples. And I'm going to pause it while I look for this next piece.